Every week, Master Chef Konstantin Druzhinin gathers the most interesting recipes from all the regions of Kazakhstan for you in the Culinary Tour program. He finds the best food products in different areas of this amazing country. He cooks unique dishes filled with a rich history, national color, and a fragrance of the vast steppe. Watch the Culinary Tour, educational and entertaining cooking show on Kazakh TV weekly. Watch in today's Culinary Tour program. Taldy Korgan is the center of Zhety flavorful dimlema made with autumn vegetables. Serving food is important too. We're laying a dastarkan outdoors. I'm in the town of Taldy Korgan, lying in the very center of Zhety in the foothills of the Jungarian Alatau. This town is only 271 kilometers far from the southern capital of Kazakhstan. The town is small but cozy, and you can feel its spirit. It's said it appeared as a small village in the 9th century and was called Gavrilovka until 1920. There are a lot of spontaneous markets in Taldy Korgan and around it. However, today I need the best products. Since we don't want to take a risk, I'm going to the central market to buy meat and the other ingredients I need.
Меня зовут Константин. Я путешествую по Казахстану в поисках уникальных.
Hello everyone, my name's Konstantin and I travel around Kazakhstan looking for unique recipes. Today I'm not far from Taldy Korgan in the center of Zhety in the foothills of the Jungarian Alatau. This town has always been famous for its green plants, vegetables and history, so today I decided to make a dish closely connected with the history of Kazakhstan. The dish is dimlema. To make the dish, I'm going to use mutton. I've got good pieces of filet and entrecotes, vegetables, herbs, and finally I'll cover our tasty dish cooked in a large cooking pot over the fire with lavash.
Свежий, поэтому его можно подсушить. Для этого мы разложим его на такую тарелочку.
I've brought quite fresh lavash, that's why we can dry it. To do it, we put lavash onto a plate like this and leave it to dry in the sun while I'm preparing the other ingredients.
Начнем мы с самых низов выкладывать наш казан и начнем, естественно, с мяса.
We start to fill our large cooking pot from the bottom and of course we start with meat. Today I'm using mutton, pieces of filet and entrecotes. The mutton is very fresh, but we need to pound it properly and marinate. I'll call this dish Dimlema Taldy Korgan style. I'm going to use some marinade, but first we need to pound the meat properly. I'm using the blunt side of a knife blade to do it.
когда мы отбиваем мясо, мы немного нарушаем его структуру и приоткрываем.
When pounding meat, we destroy its structure a little, which will make it easier for marinade to saturate it. Okay, the meat has been pounded. You can use various marinades, for example, made with tomatoes or onions. However, I may travel and don't have much time, so I'm using prepared adjika to make the marinade.
Так. Все хорошо перемешиваем. Итак, мясо в маринаде готово. Не будем терять времени.
Well, the meat has been marinated, so without wasting time, we can put it into the large cooking pot right now.
Смазываю в казан.
Usually, tail fat is used to grease a cooking pot when cooking dimlema. However, tail fat and mutton fat get cold very quickly, which is why I'm using sunflower oil today.
Мясо пока оставим в сторонку. В казан, когда мы выливаем масло, важно это делать по краям.
Okay, let's put the meat into the cooking pot. Let's put the meat aside now. When pouring oil into a cooking pot, it's important that it touches the sides to oil them.
И теперь можно выкладывать мясо.
Excellent. Finally, we can put the meat.
Начнем с жирных кусочков, которые лучше повернуть жирком вниз.
Let's start with fatty pieces, and it's better to turn the fatty side to the bottom.
Так. Отлично.
Excellent.
И пока накроем мясо, пусть маринуется.
Now we're covering the meat to let it marinate.
Ну, а сейчас пришло время овощей. Миску я промыл. И начнем мы с лука.
Now it's time to work on the vegetables. I've already washed the bowl. Let's start with the onion. You need to peel the onions properly and use quite a lot of them. A lot of onions are used to make dimlema because a part of them will fry together with the meat and the other part will produce juice and dissolve.
Чистим и крупно режем. Можно нарезать колечками.
We are peeling and chopping them into large pieces. You can cut them into rings too.
Вообще, dimlema еще называют басма. Это блюдо пришло
In general, dimlema is also called basma. This dish came from the Caucasus, which is why I'm using adjika. The basma recipe appeared here a long time ago and became popular in Kazakhstan's regions because arable farming is well developed and vegetables and fruits grow. Of course, meat cooked in a large cooking pot is our national feature. Well, I finished chopping the onions and now I can put them into the cooking pot. The main rule of my dish says that all the vegetables should be put into a cold cooking pot.
И овощи выкладываются именно в холодный казан. Итак, я выложил слой лука. Теперь дело за морковкой.
Well, I've already put a layer of onion and the next is carrots. We need to peel the carrots properly too. Soon we'll put the carrot layer here.
Выложим слой морковки. Хорошо, что все продукты местные, потому что очень свежие.
It's good that all the vegetables are local because they're really fresh. We can chop the carrots into quite large pieces. When making dimlema, the prescribed order plays an important part because some food products combine with others well and some do badly.
С другими некоторые не очень.
For example, pilaf proves that carrots, onions and meat combine perfectly. Thus now we're arranging a layer of carrots, which will be followed by other vegetables. You can put the carrot layer and salt it. We've salted the carrots.
Слой морковки и посолить. Итак, морковку мы подготовили. Теперь время за картошкой.
So we've prepared the carrots, and now let's concentrate on the potatoes. We are peeling them too. Probably you've noticed that when cooking dimlama, we put layers of the ingredients, and their order depends on the thermal processing they need. It means that first we put meat, which needs more time to be cooked.
Кладем мясо, которому нужно подольше, чтобы приготовиться. Потом лук, морковка, а теперь картошка.
It's followed by onions, carrots, and now we're going to put potatoes. And this way, all the ingredients of dimlama will stew well, produce juice, and be cooked. Now we're putting the potatoes here.
Выкладываем картофель.
We're putting the potatoes into the cooking pot. That's another piece of advice when making dimlama: don't soak potatoes. Otherwise, they will lose the starch as well as the taste we want the dish to have.
И, естественно, вкус, который нам необходим.
We don't do anything in advance. We peel, chop vegetables, and immediately put them into the cooking pot.
И сразу выкладываем в казан. Так. И снова к столу.
I'm returning to the table.
Ну, а сейчас я нарежу баклажан.
Now I'm going to chop an eggplant, because it takes a bit more time than a squash to be cooked.
Слой баклажана. Вообще,
Thus, now I'm going to put an eggplant layer. Actually, you can use various vegetables, including a pumpkin, radishes, and bell peppers, which I'm going to add to dimlama today too.
я еще закладываю.
I'm also adding my secret ingredient, which is an apple, because I'm from Almaty. Now we're adding the eggplants, then salt and pepper them, because eggplants absorb salt and pepper like sponges do.
Перец.
Now we can chop a squash.
Отлично.
We chop the squash into pieces too.
Конечно,
Well, it's late autumn now, which is why it's important to choose not very large squashes when buying them.
очень крупные.
Large squashes contain a lot of juice, and when being cooked, they can simply disintegrate. We're chopping the squash into approximately 1 centimeter thick pieces.
Дольки.
I'm going to add a bell pepper together with the squash.
И перец. Так. Для этого мы вынимаем сердцевинку.
It isn't necessary to cut the bell pepper into rings.
Его можно порезать дольками.
You can divide it into 4 large pieces.
Крупные дольки.
Now let's put all these vegetables into the large cooking pot.
Мы почти
We're almost finished.
осталось порезать.
There are only tomatoes, a cabbage, garlic, and my secret ingredient, apple, to be cut. We can cut the tomatoes into rings too.
Так. Чеснок мы
We're peeling the garlic and divide it into cloves.
шелухи разделяем на дольки.
The garlic will make the dish flavorful too, so we've peeled and pressed it.
Очистили, придавили. Можем положить в отдельную мисочку. Если вы используете яблочко, то желательно, чтобы это был кислый сорт.
If you add an apple, it's better to be a sour one. Now we'll cut the cabbage. We need to divide it into 4 parts.
Разделить на 4 части. Так.
The cabbage will serve as a good thick cover for our vegetables. It will prevent the moisture from evaporating and help saturate dimlema. All the ingredients have been prepared. I just need to add some herbs and put everything into the large cooking pot for an hour or an hour and a half. Excellent!
Специи я использую только классические: соль, перец.
I use only classic seasonings, which are salt and pepper. The garlic, sour apples, and vegetables will provide the taste we need.
А еще я добавлю зелень.
Besides, I add herbs. Classic dimlema contains only salt, pepper, herbs, and vegetables, so you'll be able to enjoy the natural taste of all the ingredients.
Всех ингредиентов.
I'll add a chili pepper too because it'll make the dish a little spicy. Here's the cabbage. Now, ошибка. Well, now we should only cover it with the dried lavash. Close the lid and place it over the fire.
Хорошо высушился.
It's dry.
Так. Так.
How great it is! You can cook such a dish only outside and only in Kazakhstan. Dimlema. Chop the mutton into large pieces. Use the blunt side of a knife blade or rolling pin to pound the mutton and entrecotes. Then smear the meat with adjika and leave it to marinate. Pour oil onto the cooking pot bottom and add meat, putting fatty pieces on the bottom. You don't need to heat the cooking pot in advance. Peel the onions, cut them into thick rings and put a thick onion layer above the meat. Then chop all the other vegetables into circles and put them into the following order: carrots, potatoes, eggplants, squashes, and tomatoes. You should be careful when salting and peppering. Do it to taste, and it's better to put salt and pepper on alternate layers. In the end, cover all the vegetables with cabbage leaves. To do it, you need to cut the cabbage into 4 parts and remove the cabbage stump. Put lavash on the top. Close the lid tightly and stew over medium heat for about 2 hours. I didn't expect to succeed with making this dish because everything depends on various factors, although the ingredients are very simple. In any case, this dimlema is delicious. Travel around Kazakhstan and cook together with me. Bon appetit!